Take the human digestive tract, stretch it out into a straight line, and you're looking at a tube roughly 8 meters long. That's 26 feet of internal plumbing, slightly longer than a standard passenger minibus. You might spend exactly 5 minutes eating a sandwich, but your body will spend the next 24 to 72 hours processing it. This massive time commitment is due to a basic biological constraint. Your cells run on the proteins, carbohydrates, and fats sitting on your dinner plate, but they cannot absorb solid food in its original form. To get those nutrients across the barrier of your intestinal walls and into your bloodstream, that meal must be completely disassembled, mechanically crushed, and chemically melted down to its smallest molecular building blocks. So, we are starting the biological clock and tracking the physical transformation of a single bite of food as it travels every inch of that 8-meter disassembly line. The clock starts at minute 0. Inside the mouth, teeth crush the food, while salivary glands release enzymes that immediately begin breaking down starches. Within seconds, the food is mashed into a moistened ball called a bolus. When you swallow, the bolus enters the esophagus and is propelled by peristalsis. These are involuntary, wave-like muscle contractions that squeeze the mass downward. They are powerful enough to move food to your stomach even if you were hanging upside down. This diagram shows the entry point to the stomach. The lower esophageal sphincter acts as a one-way gatekeeper, relaxing to let the bolus pass and snapping shut. At the 1 to 2 hour mark, the stomach acts as an expandable, highly acidic mixing chamber. This color-coded diagram maps out the stomach's regions. Down here in the body and pyloric antrum, muscular waves mix the food with gastric juices. These juices contain hydrochloric acid and enzymes like pepsin that systematically strip apart proteins. By the time it's ready to leave the stomach, the solid bolus is gone. It has been reduced to a thick, soupy paste called chyme, ready for nutrient extraction. As chyme exits the stomach, it meets accessory helpers. This anatomical drawing shows solid organs injecting chemicals. The green gallbladder releases liver-produced bile to dissolve fats. Beside it, the pancreas pumps enzymes to break down carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. Clock back on. The chyme now flows into the small intestine, the longest single section of the entire digestive tract. This is where the actual extraction happens. The inner walls of the small intestine are covered in millions of microscopic, finger-like structures called villi. These pull nutrient molecules out of the chyme and across the intestinal wall into your bloodstream. What remains moves into the large intestine, shown in this 3D illustration. Transit through this wider tube takes 12 to 48 hours. Here, gut bacteria ferment the material while the body rapidly reabsorbs water and salts, compacting waste into solid stool. That is the complete timeline. Mere seconds traveling down the esophagus, a few hours churning in the stomach and small intestine, and potentially days in the large intestine before final expulsion. Viewed as a whole, the digestive system operates as a highly coordinated biological machine. However, a system this complex occasionally experiences mechanical or chemical glitches. Acid reflux occurs when that one-way sphincter at the base of the esophagus fails to close properly, allowing corrosive stomach acid to splash upward and irritate the unprotected tissue. Indigestion follows when acidic juices irritate the stomach lining, or when the stomach chamber is simply overloaded with too much food at once. Moving further down the line is constipation. This happens when the transit time through the large intestine slows down, causing the body to absorb too much water from the waste and leaving the stool dry and difficult to pass. Despite these hiccups, the GI tract remains an autonomous, self-regulating factory. Without you having to think about it, it silently turns yesterday's lunch into the cellular energy keeping you alive today. We only tracked the main highway today. In an upcoming video, we will look at the complex chemical engineering of the liver, pancreas, and gallbladder. Hit the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss it.